Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we're going to be making scrunchies. If you want to see how I made these beautiful scrunchies, please stay tuned to the end of this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I've gone ahead to make 3 of them, and we're going to be making the 4th one together. As you can see, it stretches out really nicely and they look so beautiful. So guys, let's go ahead and make the 4th scrunchie together. So first of all, I'm going to have my fabric laid out, and my fabric is 31 inches by 5 inches. So the length of the fabric is 31 and the width, that's the wideness, is 5 inches. Okay, so I'm gonna head to fold it, and unfold it is 15.5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, the ½ inch I added is for allowance. Okay, so you're going to be stitching it, so you ought to have ½ inch for allowance. So guys, I folded my fabric and I'm going to be stitching by the ½ inches that I added. The ½ inch I added, right? So that's it guys. I've gone ahead to stitch it, and the next thing you want to do right now is to notch the other end, that's the mid part. You're going to be notching both ends of the mid part. Okay, so just give it a very tiny notch on both sides, just a little notch there. So guys, I notched it in order for me to be able to fold at the right part. So right now I'm going to be taking in the middle, and I'm going to be bringing out the outer part of the fabric. Guys, please pay close attention to what I'm doing right here. You take in the middle fabric and bring out the outer fabric, that is the notched part, and you're just going to pin it together, connecting one notch to the other. I hope this is really clear. Please take a close look at what I'm doing. Next thing, you're going to pin it, and right now I'm just pinning it, and after pinning you're going to be stitching all around. Okay, so I've gone ahead to stitch. So guys, you're just going to be stitching by ½ inch, and whilst you stitch, please pull out the inner fabric and keep on stitching until you get to the end. So you keep pulling and stitching. Okay, you pull out the inner fabric and stitch out the outer fabric. This is to close the seams. Okay, so when you get to the end, approaching the end, please just leave about 1 inch. Do not close it up because you're going to have to turn out your fabric. So leave about 1 inch, and then you stitch it in. Stop your stitch at that marked 1 inch, just as you can see me doing in the video. Okay, so you're just going to stitch and stop where that 1 inch line stops. So guys, you can see the 1 inch that I left out. I'm going to be using this 1 inch space to pull out my inner fabric. So right now I'm just going ahead to pull out my inner fabric, just as you see me doing in the video. So guys, I've gone ahead to pull out the fabric, and you can see how the band looks so beautiful. So this is the 1 inch space that I left. You can see it right here, that 1 inch space that we left. Next thing we're going to be doing is to be putting in our elastic band, and this elastic is 9 inches. So I'm going to be using my safety pin to pass my elastic, okay? So you're just going to use your safety pin to hold your elastic, and you're going to use it to pass. You're going to pass through the band. You're going to use your safety pin to pass your elastic into the band, okay? So I'm just doing it gently so I do not enter with the elastic. Next thing, you're going to be using your pin, the pin that I used to hold fabric. You're going to use it to hold down the other end of the elastic so it does not go in. Now I'm just going ahead to pass my elastic in, and I'm going to pull the other end of the elastic from the 1 inch hole, right? We go around and pull it out. And next thing I'm going to do right now is to tie the elastic together, okay? I've taken out my pins and I'm just going to tie my elastic together. Please guys, ensure that when you're tying it, you tie your knots very tightly. You know that scrunches pull out a lot, like they stretch out a lot, and you do not want your elastic to loose, so tie your knots very tightly, okay? Just as you see me doing. I'm going to take that in, and next thing I want to do right now is, after taking it in, I'm going to be closing up that 1 inch space, and I do not want to use my machine to close it up, so I'm going to be using a needle and thread, okay? In order to have a neat finishing, we're going to be using a needle and thread to make an invisible stitch. So first of all, you're going to take in the thread from inside the scrunchie so that the knots at the end of the thread is not visible on the outside, but it is inside. So you're going to take that in, and then you're going to stitch your your scrunchie. To close up the gap, you're going to be stitching it side by side, okay? So you're just going to start stitching from one side, and you do the same for the other side, just as you see me doing right now. So your stitch is going through the band. Please guys, pay a very close look at what I'm doing right now, so you can see that I'm going side by side. I'm just going to do that until I get to the end of the space, okay? I'm just going to do that side by side carefully so you do a neat job. So guys, right now at the end, I'm just going to take it right into the stitches, and then I'm going to roll my thread over my needle in order to secure my thread so it doesn't loose. And then next thing I want to do is to pass my thread into any part of the scrunchie just to hide the thread. I'm going to pass it into any parts of the scrunchie so it doesn't loose. And then after doing that, I'm just going to cut my thread, okay? So pay attention to it. So right now I'm just going to cut it out, and then guys, that's it for the scrunchie. And as you can see, it looks very nice, and the place we covered looks neat, and it looks covered and more or less invisible, okay? And this is it guys. The scrunchie looks so beautiful and I really loved them. They were so nice. So guys, for the black fabric I used the Duchess, and for the pink scrunchie I used the bridal satin, okay? And as you can see, I have 4 of them and they look so good. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.